So progressive Christianity is very hard to nail down.
Yeah,
But
it
as
is,
Lenny
because
said
it's
earlier,
also a
you know,
response to Orthodox Christianity.
it's a response, but more it's I treat it like a space cloud. You can see the cloud very clearly. But when you're looking at the fringes of it, when you're looking at the edges, it's kind of hard to tell exactly where the cloud is.
Sure. Right.
Right.
So he is 100% in progressive Christian spaces, but I'm not sure I would say he holds to the progressive Christian ideology. If that's the case, though, one thing that progressive Christians are very well known for is kicking anyone out who doesn't go with the flow.
Okay.
And so there's a reason why it is so rare to find progressive Christians being actual friends with evangelicals. Like one example, if I get the names right, is Nadia Bolz-Weber in her one of her books. She talked about how she posted out some really inflammatory tweet, and the person who came back doing a mental welfare check on her was Pirate Christian Radio. Now I can't remember the name of the pastor. But like well-known, very, a hardcore apologist, hardcore conservative. But that's one of the only times I've ever heard of something like that. Most of the time, if you don't go along with the flow, you're kicked out. There is no forgiveness. There is no, you're allowed to disagree with us about these things. You question LGBTQ, it's a doorway. Doesn't matter what you say about it.
Just as dogmatic as any.
Oh, very, very much so. But that begs the question: how is he accepted in these communities unless he's going with the flow or hiding that he disagrees with him? Because one thing I've seen very, very clearly and I'll do a comparison with this. In apologetics, there's whole channel series against penal substitutionary atonement. There's whole channel there's the whole Lacona McGrew
feud. Right.
Yeah,
we're familiar with that.
Yeah, there's channels that are oppose Elisa Childers. There's channels that oppose. I think there's channels that oppose Sean McDowell. There's opposition to Frank Turek. There's the whole question of William Lane Craig and the Trinity. Whether it's good or bad, we have no problem calling each other out. I've called out some apologists on my own from my own research. To date, if I remember the number correctly, I found about 7 instances of progressive Christianity disagreement internal. 2 scandals and then a few off comments. Brenda Marie Davies got canceled. If I understand the context correctly, she didn't have enough nude black women in her nude photo shoot.
Okay. That's going to be a clip.
Yeah. Tim Whitaker got caught in road rage, got caught covering it up, got caught trying to silence a woman, and I think he's being removed from the New Evangelicals because of that whole thing.
Slightly familiar with that group, yeah.
Yeah, so that, and they are, New Evangelicals is one of the more well-known progressive Christian and deconstructionist pages or groups.
Sites, whatever.
So that's the second scandal I've seen. I've seen there's one guy on Instagram that is doing a PhD trying to call out racism in progressive Christianity. It's too white for him. I've seen one small-time pastor say that the left can be too unforgiving. Randall says that Spong is highly unorthodox. And then Chuck McKnight in Progressive Pathos published an article in 2018 calling out Marcionism in progressive Christianity, not on the basis of theology, but on the basis of its anti-Semitic.
Yeah, well, I saw that. You linked to because there was a Patheos post, and I write for Patheos on occasion as well. And I noticed that the problem wasn't Marcion's ontology or his view of God. It was the potentiality for Marcionism to be understood as anti-Jewish in the anti-Semitic sense, which I do think is a problem. But
it is also a problem. But
there are it's not even the most significant one, of course.
Yeah, but it goes to show progressive Christians don't have any reputation of self-correction.
Challenging it. Yeah. Well, again, it seems to be. I mean, this is a complaint that we conservatives have made about the left in general. That it tends to be like the Borg. Everybody's got to move forward as in the hive mind. Otherwise, internal debate, criticism, critique, and challenge is not welcome, right?
Well, so yes,
Tends
but
not
this is
tends
where
not.
this is where I particularly group them with new atheists. So
Okay.
I post fairly often about what my platform is. My platform is primary source research. This is what justifies me as an apologist. This is why I'm saying the things I say. It's because I pick up books that no one's ever heard of and no one ever wants to hear of, and I read them. Both the new atheists and the progressive Christians make as their platform that they started questioning religion, and they started researching things, and they don't have sacred cows, and they're willing to correct their beliefs, and that's their platform.
Yeah.
And then they don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And but you end up with, quick question. I know both of you are high academia.
Wow.
I'm going to guess both of you've taken classes in Greek and Hebrew.
I've done Greek. I did 3 semesters of Greek. I did not do Hebrew. I took the Greek track instead.
Okay.
I just brushed with it. Yes.
Okay. But either way, that puts you above someone that Randall endorsed recently. So Keith Giles is, I don't use conspiracy theory often. He is a conspiracy theorist, 100%. His book, the book that Randall endorsed, obviously this is a progressive Christian book. It's definitely an orthodox book because they're not an orthodox. There is no part of me that is not part of God, and no part of God that is not part of me. Which is another way of saying that he believes he is God.
Yeah, and I don't even know that would qualify for a panentheistic view if you say there's no part of God that is not part of me. That really does. I mean,
that's pantheism.
I'm about a third of the way through my book on neo-paganism, and I think most neo-pagans would fully embrace that statement.
Oh, yeah. But the reason I bring it up, and that was just an introduction to Keith, is I have asked in public and in private numerous progressive Christian leaders and progressive Christians just in conversation to challenge Keith's article titled "How Evangelicals Change the Bible to Support Their Beliefs." He makes.
I didn't know we changed the Bible.
Well, ironically, he identifies David Bentley Hart as an evangelical who changed the Bible to support his beliefs.
I don't think David Bentley Hart would accept that label, but okay.
No, he wouldn't. But Keith hasn't told him.
Yeah, right.
So
right.
He makes several claims, but one of the claims he makes is that in 1 Corinthians 14:36, the Greek was I'm probably mispronouncing that. Normally translated as or. According to his evidence, it is supposed to be translated as what. And if you have a Bible that doesn't translate it as what, it's translating it wrong. His evidence is the Blue Letter Bible KJV interlinear. I'm not joking. That's the screenshot he provides. He doesn't actually say that.
He didn't go to Mounts or anything. Yeah.
Okay. That's the screenshot he should provide. It's worse because the same Greek word is in the same verse twice. And he doesn't say about the second time where the same interlinear translates it as or. Because he doesn't understand that an interlinear doesn't tell you how it ought to be translated. It tells you what the word is behind the chosen translation in that chosen version. This Greek word is in the Bible about 300 times.
Yeah.
Every, and I do mean every, English translation that has ever been translated by anyone, including David Bentley Hart's second edition New Testament, I have verified this myself, does not consistently translate that word as what. Which means if his claim is right, every, I mean every.
What passage was this? Say it. Do you remember?
Let me open the article directly just to make sure I'm not misquoting it.
Just in case anybody hears this, they might want to go check this out.
Okay. So, thank you for reminding me. One point I do want to make for anyone who's following me or for watching this video. If you have questions about what I'm saying and you want the source, please contact me.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning, probably 95% of what I say about progressive Christianity, I have a specific article, a specific quote, a specific something in mind. If I'm not sharing what that is, please contact me. So the article is How Evangelicals Change the Bible to Support Their Beliefs. The specific verse is 1 Corinthians 14:36. The Strong's number for this is G2228. It's a single letter Greek word. I believe it's A. I'm still learning Greek right now, and my pronunciation is horrible. But the reason why I bring that up is I use that as a litmus test. This is, I mean, it's something as bad as like, hey, are you willing to say that Ravi Zacharias is bad? And someone says, no, I don't think he did anything wrong. Even if you think there's question about that because the family is split, what he's accused of is wrong, unquestionably. If an apologist is unwilling to admit that, there's problems. This argument is so bad, I'm convinced that there is not a single progressive Christian scholar who knows Greek who will ever go public and defend this article.
Okay.
And yet he's endorsed by Randall and 40 or 50 other progressive Christian leaders, including academic leaders, professors. I want to say Brian Zahnd endorsed him in one of his books. David Hayward. Now my mind is blank on the guy that Chuck McKnight on Martianism. So they don't want to accept correction. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze them. It's outright obvious when you ask them to, hey, the standard, and this is how I usually phrase it, whatever standard you use to condemn Elisa, go read this article and do the same thing. Go watch Randall's video and do the same thing. Does his video pass the standard you use to judge Elisa Childers?
Right.
Can you get any Bible scholar, anyone, go to Pete Enns, go to David Benny Hart, anyone to endorse this stuff? They won't publicly say, they'll publicly say, I don't agree with everything that's been said.
But they won't ever
say, yeah, this is wrong, this is a problem, this should not be said. They won't ever say that.